Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today, what I have for you guys is a brand new GTA 5 online video. Of course, it is week 2 in Heist month now, and we have some new bonuses to check out, discounts. The whole weekly update is out, including our new weekly challenge. We have lots of rare and removed vehicles that are featured back into the game. Some are actually repeats from pretty recently, but others, including the vehicle you guys can see over my shoulder behind me here, are actually not only removed, but they're extremely fun to drive. They have secret unique features, great customization options, things like that. And so this video will serve as your weekly update guide to this week in GTA Online, where we go over everything featured this week. You guys can make sure you stay up to date with all of it. I'll review the performance and customization of discounted as well as the rare and removed vehicles that are featured back into the game this week. Show you guys what to buy, what you guys should avoid, things like that. And so with all that said, good morning and let's get started. When it comes to the test drive vehicles at the LS car meet, some of these are rare and removed from the game. So let's jump into the first one. Now this was featured here recently, so we'll just like briefly gloss over it. This is the Dinka Jester. Now it's based off of that 2015 Honda and Acura NSX. This car, I would say, excels in the sports class category. You get really good and competitive speed, you get agile handling, exceptional performance on slippery surfaces, so whenever it's raining, honestly, you can trust this car to carry you around any turn you want to make. It's just ideal for challenging weather conditions. Got great durability against collisions, things like that. If you do want to pick it up, it is going to run you $240,000 this week. After that, here we have the Western Cliffhanger. Now, this is inspired by the Harley-Davidson XR750. It's a race-ready bike that combines the classic aesthetics with modern functionality all in one. You can get up to 125 miles an hour with this trial bike. You can do some high-speed wheelies, long stoppies. I think it's a top choice for racing enthusiasts as well as chopper fans alike. If you do want to pick it up, it's going to run you $225,000. And then we also have another repeat here from, a relatively recent week, the Invitero Coquette. This is one of the faster OG cars in the game in a straight line because it's got a super high torque and high output engine with lots of horsepower. Honestly, you get significant oversteer and difficulty in corner control compared to some other sports cars, but it's a rewarding yet tricky car choice if you want to make it in this game. I think it's worth buying and worth driving. If you're skilled enough to master its unique handling, it is so thrilling to drive. And with that said, it's going to cost you $138,000 here. Here at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport, aka car dealership, we have some pretty awesome rare and removed vehicles to check out. Some have some pretty unique features that you're definitely going to want to hear about. But let's start off with probably, I guess, the least exciting one. This is the Albany Hermes, or the Albany Hermes, whatever you want to call it. This is a nice stable ride. Honestly, it's not super high speed, but it's competitive among muscle cars, surprisingly. It's got an air ride suspension. It's got a really robust design. It's bulky, so your maneuverability is certainly going to be limited. And surprisingly, you wouldn't think it, but it's actually like a little bit top heavy, so it may like tip over on a sharp turn if you just take it the wrong way, but you don't have to worry about it too much. If you do want to buy it, it's going to cost you $554,380 this week. Next, we'll move on here. This is the Benefactor Streeter. I honestly really like this thing. It stands out because it's got really good durability and stability on off-road terrains. It's going to fall short in competitive speed and ramming capabilities against lighter, more specialized off-road vehicles, but it's a nice casual choice for off-road adventures. It's not like a top 5 or top 10 off-roading vehicle in the game, in my opinion, but you got some really like wide set, fender flares for the wheels that stick out. Either they're wheel spacers or just high offset rims on this thing, and it stands really well. This neon green color is also pretty cool. If you do want to buy the Streeter, it is going to cost you $500,000 this week. I'd say it's worth it because it's just fun. It's quick on the road too. So if you want a vehicle that's very capable off-road but fast on-road, that's going to be your choice right here. Next up, the Silvestre. Honestly, super underrated car. It merges the aesthetics of 1970s Japanese coupes, but you honestly get really good performance with it as well. Top speed is just a modest 117 miles an hour, but you get excellent traction that's ideal for all types of corners in this game, wide or sharp. And you also get some weaponization options. You get front-facing machine guns with this vehicle, of course, if you modify it that way, and that's going to add some versatility for all sorts of combat scenarios, or just if you're racing in general. And of course, if you do want to buy it, it's going to cost you $712,380 this week. Next, we'll move on here. This is the Ubermacht SC1. With this car, you get decent acceleration. I'd say you get excellent handling, and you can obviously do that at really high speeds around the city. Good for city cruising, things like that. It's got a slower 124 mile an hour top speed. I think it's the second slowest supercar in GTA Online. And honestly now, especially now, it's got like a diminished appeal because the Ubermacht Niobe is newer. It's obviously also based on like the BMW i8. You're gonna get way better performance, things like that. I mean, this is, I guess, kind of a mix between the BMW M1, and then it's also also the i8 at the same time. It's more an M1 style vehicle, but either way, the Ubermacht Niobe, I think, is going to be the choice that a lot of players pick, but nonetheless, we have this in this game. And then we also have the Lampadati Viserys. Now, personally, I absolutely love this car. Also, first of all, the SC1's price is $1,122,100. I don't think it's worth it for over like a $600,000 price point. But the Viserys, I love this car. It's probably one of my top 15 favorite cars in the game for sure. It's got mediocre traction, I'll be honest. I'm not gonna like flex in front with this vehicle. Mediocre traction that's gonna lead to spinning out during cornering, but the Viserys also stands out in my opinion with potential for really high top speeds with good upgrades. You get some really cool unexpected drifting capabilities when the suspension is lowered all the way, and it also features front-facing machine guns, and so that's going to add a layer of combat utility to this unique sports classics vehicle as well, just like that Silvestre from Anis over there. So definitely recommend you pick up this. This is what I was using at the beginning of today's video. You can get it for $612,500. When it comes to our bonuses this week, we do have double money and double RP on the Doomsday scenario, specifically with the Act 3 finale if you want to take advantage of that, so that's going to be pretty nice. Taxi work is going to be double money this week as well, which, you know, it used to be just normal money, then Rockstar permanently buffed it 3 times with the bottom dollar bounties update, and so that's been like the base payout since then is like a 3 times buff, but now of course with the weekly update, that 3 times buff is now doubled. So from original taxi work payout values, it's 6 times money, but just for this weekly event, it is just 2 times. But just remember, the 3 times buff from original values for payouts are still active. So you can make some pretty decent money per hour with taxi work as well. The bunker series, which you can see here, is going to be double money and double RP as well. And then hunting pack, not hunting pack remix, is going to be double money and double RP. So if you want to take advantage of that, that is also here in the adversary mode job list of the pause menu. For the discounts, let's start off with our major property discount for the week first, which is 40% off all facility properties plus 40% off all facility upgrades and modifications. So you can take your pick of whichever one you want. You can renovate it and choose your style, graphics. If you want an orbital cannon, security room, the lounge, type of lounge, privacy glass, and sleeping quarters. So that's pretty sweet right there. On Warstock Cash and Carry, you can take 30% off the Mammoth Thruster for $1,750,000. You can also take 30% off the TM02 Kanjali tank. You can get it for $2.695 million. The Akula is also going to be 30% off. You can get this helicopter, really great one by the way, for $3,150,000. The volatile aircraft you can get for $2.606 million. This is 30% off. You can get the Chernobog as well for 30% off, and you can get this for $1,050,000. Then in addition to that, the Overflot Autarch on Legendary Motorsport is going to be 40% off. You can get this for $1,173,000. The Fister Neon is also on sale for 40% off. You can get this for $900 grand. And then the infamous Benefactor Vorschlag Hammer, which released with the bottom dollar bounties update, is also on sale here. You can get it for 30% off or $1,253,000. Now, in addition to that, the Anis Silvestre, as well as the Ubermacht SC1 and the Lampadati Viserys are also going to be 30% off. So we reviewed those before in the rare and removed vehicles section. So they are cheaper than usual, but of course you can't get them on in-game websites anymore. You have to go to those specific in-game vendors to pick them up, which I'm pretty sure all 3 of them are located at Simeon's Premium Deluxe Motorsport this week anyways. Here we are at the Diamond Casino and Resort, and this week's podium vehicle that you guys can see is the Dinka Conjo SJ. Now, this was actually available during the update week in October. It was like October the 17th, I want to say, to October the 23rd. It was available during that week as the podium vehicle as well, so it is back. But this has a $1.37 million retail value, full MSRP. It's got decent handling. It's front-wheel drive. The acceleration and the top speed are, I'm going to be honest, they're just below average compared to other coupes in its class, but it's got stable cornering capabilities, and honestly, you have minimal risk of spinning out with this car, even during like really aggressive maneuvers, but also the durability is really bad. So that's this car in a nutshell. I'm going to review it further in my free vehicles guide later on this weekend, but as always in my weekly update guides, let's spin the lucky wheel. Let's see if we can get lucky and win ourselves another one, because this would be the 3rd one in our garage at this point. I've only purchased one. The other one we actually won off the podium, and let's see what we can get this week. We're not going to get the car, but we are going to get 20,000 chips. 3 videos in a row now. I feel like we're just getting been getting chips back to back to back to back. I mean, I'll take it for sure. At the LS Car Meet, your prize ride for this week is the Ocelot Penetrator, and honestly, this vehicle is worth winning for many reasons. First, I'll just say if you actually want to unlock it this week, you need to place top 5 in LS Car Meet Series races for 3 days in a row. So just as long as you're logging into the game for 3 days in a row, just doing like, you know, a drift race, drag race, pursuit series race, something like that, you can place top 5 and you are pretty much good to go. Now, the Ocelot Penetrator has a much higher top speed than a lot of other supercars in the game, so it's competitive for racing. It's got great all-around handling, excellent speed and acceleration. It's not like a top 5, top 10, or even top 15 supercar in this game, but it's just very good. It's got a nice, long, sleek profile, really good maneuverability. My one real criticism is it just has a little bit of oversteer when you enter a corner really fast, which is unfortunate for a supercar, but it's worth trying to win this week because this car just has so much history. It's based off that Jaguar XJ220, and as you guys know, that is just like an infamous vehicle in terms of all types of supercars in this game. I guess it was classed as a sports car, but honestly, this is like one of the very few like first supercars, isn't it? Besides like the McLaren F1 stuff like that. Like this really paved the way for a lot of other cars. So, you know, it's a car with lots of history, things like that, and you might as well try and win it this week. Here we are back at the salvage yard reviewing the vehicles this week. These are going to last until, of course, Wednesday, November the 20th. So you have the rest of this week to take advantage. Let's start with the repeat upon repeats here. The Canis Camacho. This is going to be the low tier or standard range vehicle for this week, featured in the Gangbanger robbery. No, it's not claimable. Next up, the mid-range vehicle is the Vapid Dominator GT, which is going to be featured in the McToney robbery. Once again, not claimable. Our top range vehicle for this week, an awesome car, the Benefactor LM87. It's featured in the Podium robbery. Unfortunately, this isn't claimable either. Here at Luxury Autos here, we have the Grotti Turismo Omaggio featured here with this really cool livery. So if you want to buy it here versus off the in-game website, it's going to have this customization applied. Same thing here with the Invitero Coquette D1. This released, of course, with the Bottom of Dollar Bounties DLC. It's got like the pinstripe livery or whatever the kind of design is called. I forget what it is. But the Grotti Turismo Omaggio was, of course, released with the Chop Shop update last year, December 2023. Let's check out the gun van stock for this week. Of course, if you guys are watching on Thursday, November the 14th of 2024, you can see the gun van is located down all the way here at the terminal for this week. So let's go check out what's in stock. So what we have featured here for this week, it's actually a pretty awesome week for gun van selections, especially since we can get 50% off everything as long as you are a GTA Plus member. That is something you need to keep in mind. But featured here, we have the Service Carbine, the Tactical SMG, and this discount here at the gun van specifically is going to be 30% off for all players. So if you have GTA Plus, it's 50%. If you don't have it, this is going to be 30%. We have the Sweeper Shotgun, the Heavy Sniper, the SMG, as well as the Switchblade. No, the GTA Plus bonus doesn't stack with the Tactical SMG bonus. You're not getting 80% off. It's just going to be 30 for everyone or 50 if you have GTA Plus. With all that out of the way, though, we have talked about everything rare and removed that's featured back into the game this week. All of the biggest changes, including the money bonuses, discounts, weekly challenge, things like that, and more this week in GTA Online. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you guys did. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and you want to see more GTA Online content like this. Also, check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram if you guys would like to stay up to date with daily and several GTA Online as well as Red Dead Online live streams over on my YouTube channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, hopefully you guys all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios, amigos.